What do you make of him, eh?
Undiluted triumph for England, without any doubt at all.
And now the drums are beating, and now the fans are singing.
That was lovely play. I enjoyed that. That was terrific football.
They've not looked the sort of side that fight to the death.
The real star of the show at the moment, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Certainly.
Such improvisation from Samuel Tuchel. Portugal is not by now. They're going to end up winners of Group D. They thought their place had been snatched away from them, but in the end, they finally got there. The joy of victory.
Hello, good afternoon. Winning on points in Euro 96 is no more. From now on, everyone's going for a knockout. Cautious sparring just won't do for the countries who are still on their feet. In just in a couple of hours, it's Spain against England at Wembley. France and the Netherlands, they start at Anfield at 6:30. Looking at England, I'm personally struggling to remember seeing a better England performance because Terry Venables' team destroyed a major footballing power. The Dutch, though, still have a chance to recover. But can England hit that peak again and justify the surge of optimism that's sweeping the country? We'll look at the Spanish threat after Gary Newbon's morning report from the England camp in Buckinghamshire.
The England team going for a last-minute walk at their hotel before leaving for Wembley. It's the first grey day here, but the spirits are still high and the team are relaxed. Terry Venables hasn't announced his lineup yet, but rest assured, because the walking wounded have recovered, that there'll be just one change from the normal starting lineup, and that's the suspended Paul Ince, replaced by David Platt. For the last 3 days, the England coach has been going through videos of the Spanish team in action in this competition with his squad, and a little earlier, I asked Terry Venables what had impressed him most.
Well, I think they're technically very good. They've got a good spirit. What he's done is they used to have a team of big stars. They always had big stars like Michel and Butragano, and they would be successful or very disappointing. And I think what he did was he developed a lot of young players that were delighted to get into the squad. He worked with them, and they travel a lot better now. He's developed systems of play with the young players, and they're a tougher group, and he's got good results with that, and he's got consistent. I mean, he's not lost a game in 19 games. You don't go 19 games without losing a game, whatever games, without having something going for you.
What is it you're trying to get the England team to exactly do, besides win, of course?
Well, I'm trying to get them to play good football. I'm trying to create spaces for them so that they can, because the opposition will try to stop you doing that.
England players and England managers have sort of felt the pressure because of all the criticism and expectations. You seem to have instilled a lot of confidence in the team.
I think we try to install a situation where we're a group that is prepared for anything on and off the field. I would prefer them not to read the papers now, because it can soften you up if you're not careful. What we had before was, I didn't stop them reading the papers because they would have heard from other people what was in there, and it might have even seemed worse. And if we want players to do well at the top level and be resilient, they've got to be resilient by reading the papers and say, well, what are you going to do? Stand up, or are you going to fall over because you've been hurt? So we stood up, and now I want them to retain the same attitude, even though the press is good. And that's great. I'm pleased that the boys are good, but it's very seductive. You can start saying, oh, you know, I'm a good player now, and we're a good team, and then you're going to get tripped up. You can always get tripped up, but if we're going to get tripped up, let's not contribute to it ourselves.
It's been a marvellous week for England. You've beaten Scotland, you put 4 past the Dutch. What's your message for everybody this weekend?
Well, we've got to remain consistent. They've got to keep supporting us in the way they have, which couldn't be bettered so far. And we've got to try and respond to that.
My job is to defend my players, but I must have players I can defend. So speaks Javier Clemente, whose loyalty to 100%ers at the expense of fragile genius has left Spain unbeaten in 2 years since the World Cup. It's not pretty, but it is pretty effective.
There's the goal for Spain from Amor, and that could be the one that keeps them in Euro 96.
Pero eso ocurre en todas las selecciones. En la francesa están diciendo que falta Cantona, Ginola, en la selección italiana que falta Baggio, que falta Signori. Y eso son cosas en fútbol que son normales, ¿no? Y todos los años y toda la vida pasará esto.
Both Salinas and his old Barcelona teammate Zubizarreta have vivid memories of the new style of play imposed by Terry Venables at the Nou Camp. It won him the Spanish League title and lots of admirers, including, grudgingly, the irascible Clemente.
¿Es un encuentro muy difícil para ustedes?
Sí, yo pienso que es difícil para los dos, ¿no? Está claro que todo está a su favor, que todo el ambiente va a estar a su favor, pero nosotros sabemos que tenemos opciones y como tenemos esas opciones tenemos la ilusión de poder pasar también.
Bueno, a mí Paul Gascoigne me encanta, ¿no? Me encanta como futbolista. A mí me parece un futbolista muy bueno, muy rápido, que tiene mucha fuerza, que tiene mucha calidad. Y a mí personalmente me encanta.
¿Pero ustedes no tienen miedo?
¿De Gascoigne?
No,
¿de Inglaterra? No, le tenemos mucho respeto. Lógicamente Inglaterra es una gran selección y hace un fútbol muy bonito. Pero yo creo que ellos también no estarán nada a gusto de que les haya tocado a España. Yo creo que España va a ser también un rival muy incómodo para ellos.
He defends his men and they defend him. Whether their defence is strong enough to cope with Gaza and co is another matter.
Now, Gary, what about the midfield area? How much of a blow is it for England, first of all, that Paul Ince, who had such a good game against the Dutch, isn't there?
Yeah, well, Paul's not been getting many headlines in this tournament so far, but I think he's been sitting in front of the back four and protecting guys like Paul Gascoigne, Steve McManaman and Darren Anderton. So I think he's done a big job so far. The fact that he's just sitting in behind him, protecting him and letting him go forward.
One of 120 yellow cards that have been issued in this tournament for Paul Ince, and he was upset that Jordi Cruyff got him booked here.
I think in a Scotland-England game, the Scottish player might try to stay up there, but as we've seen in this tournament, as soon as you make any contact with these foreign guys, they're going down. So there was a little pull there, and I'm afraid it was a booking.
Now, Jack, a lot has been made of Nadal coming into the midfield. He's saying, I'm a hard guy, I'll always play like that. I'll block Paul Gascoigne out. What impact is he going to have?
He's going to have a big impact. He's a very, very, very good player. He plays either in the back or he plays in front of the back four. He's a very strong contact man, and he's also tremendously gifted, actually, with the ball and on it.
Sent off in the World Cup there against the Koreans,
yes,
booked here in the first game when he couldn't play in the first
That is a tackle which most players take when you've reached your leg out and somebody runs into it. This is him against us here. He's got 3 or 4 of the Irish players all chasing him, trying to get a tackle in, and look at the skill and the strength he's got. He really is an extremely good player. Without him that day, I think we might have got a good result out of that match. But with him in it, he was tremendous. And he'll also come forward and get you goals.
Now, Ray, just looking back a few years, I can remember being behind the goal in Madrid in the World Cup in '82. England had to beat Spain. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do, only too well. This is a great bit of action. This is Paul Mariner on the ball where Robbo makes a good run in the box. And it's poor old Kevin Keegan that misses the chance. We'd actually given the Spaniards a bit of a pasting that night, but couldn't get the ball in the net. But I have to say, Jim, we were away then. I've been to Wembley, been fortunate enough to have been to Wembley the last couple of matches. The atmosphere is absolutely incredible. And I'm quite convinced if we can get that sort of atmosphere this afternoon, we'll beat the Spanish.
Jack, let's look at 1 or 2 of the predictions of our pundits, shall we, that we did right at the start of the tournament. Russia didn't exactly do it for me, and the Italians...
There's a few baddies on there, isn't there?
Yeah, the Italians caused
John Helm, Italy.
Caused a few casualties.
Italy, Ray Wilkins, Italy. You gone, Raymond. Bob Wilson, Italy. Jim Rosenthal, Germany.
Yeah, but if we move on now, these are sort of still alive, but they can't actually happen really because of the way the draw has shaped up. But they're not bad. But now we move on to our prime ones here, and these are the 4: Peter Brackley, Tony, Ron Atkinson and John Barnes, and that could still all happen in Euro '96, Jack. But I have to ask you, and there'll be lots of...
Well, I was very unlucky not to join that group because I picked, actually, England to play Germany in the final, and we didn't really know that they wouldn't compete in the final, so I think I should go through with an extra mark or 2 on that one.
I'm sorry, no, it's harsh, this, and you've gone, Jack.
I can't have gone. I mean, I've got 2 winners in there.
Well, what about a winner this afternoon? Because lots of people will be out there remembering what you did last week.
Well, I don't think you can stop the Spanish scoring, so I think they may get a goal. But England eventually to win 2-1. which is why I've not had a bet today, because I think it might be eventually, which means in the extra time.
OK, Jack, Ray, Gary, thank you very much indeed. We're all dashing across London out of Wembley, 3 of us at least, hoping that England roar on.
The feeling around the country must be the same as what I'm feeling at the moment. It's just great.
I hope Germany win it, in a sense, because I got them in the sweep at work, but my heart says England.
Do you feel better for England doing well?
Fantastic, yeah. Doesn't everyone?
Good luck to them. Hope they do it.
Against Holland, they're better than they usually were anyway. The best I've seen them for 30 years.
But you haven't been alive for 30 years.
That's what Dad said, actually.
So welcome to Wembley. England make one expected change with Paul Ince suspended for the game. David Platt returns to do a similar job in the midfield. Otherwise, it's the team that was so inspired against the Dutch, with Adams, Shearer and Anderton all having passed tests for minor injuries received in that game. England now suddenly second favourites for the title behind the Germans. As for Spain, unbeaten in their last 19 games, the biggest mistake probably would be to underestimate them today here at Wembley. They've made 2 changes. Belsué comes into the defence at right back in place of Lopez, and the widely experienced Salinas will join Kiko in attack. Pizzi drops to the substitute bench. So a high degree of expectation here amongst the fans. As the referee gets the game underway, Spain in their red shirts attack the goal to our right. Adams quickly in for England. Those high expectations built, not unnaturally, on the victory over Scotland and the demolition of the Dutch here in the last 7 days. A foul there on Shearer, and Abelardo, who's already on a yellow card, gets another yellow card, and if Spain were to progress, he would miss the semi-final. But certainly the French referee making his intentions absolutely clear, and I'm sure Ron Atkinson would agree. There's absolutely no dispute with that yellow card.
No, it's a crazy challenge so early in the game. They know full well if they tackle from behind and don't make contact to get the ball, they're going straight in the book. And in the first minute of the game, that's ludicrous.
And now Abelardo, of course, on a knife edge, really. Another yellow card, another rash challenge, and he's in terrible trouble. McManaman doing well there. Zubizarreta fisting it down from knee height there at that point. A good, intelligent break down the right by England, though. And now suddenly Spain with Kiko. Oh, it's Salinas. Belsué. Full back. McManaman can pick it up again. Darren Anderton can't pick it up from him, though. Belsué again. Lost his place after the first game in this tournament. Here he is again. In once more, and it's David Platt who asserted himself there for England. It comes out again from McManaman, and now for Anderton, who showed such improved form in that game against Holland after so long out from injury. McManaman couldn't pick up the return, though.
I think this is the reason, Brian, why the Spanish have made the change. Belsué's been brought up into an offensive position. They're going to play with 3 at the back. Everyone, the whole talk was about Nadal being a strong midfield player, going in to play against Gascoigne. He's not. He's going to play as last man at the back behind Alcorta and Abelardo. Position, incidentally, where I've seen him play tremendous. I think he's maybe the best centre-half in the world in that when he plays that role.
So watch out for number 20, Nadal. He's already, as Ron says, the last man. And so they'll presumably be looking for the likes of Sergi, who bounds down the left-hand side, and now Belsway to do a lot of attacking down the flanks.
Yeah, Sergi's particularly happy at that. Out in America in the World Cup, he was outstanding in that position. Every opportunity he gets, he'll bomb forward. That, of course, Brian throws a big...
Nadal caught out here. Shearer's after him. And a wonderful save. Oh, Zubizarreta did superbly there for Spain. Shearer did well for England. A good, challenging run and an excellent hard shot on target after the mistake by Nadal, who'd allowed himself to be sucked further forward than Spain needed him to be. A corner for England, which Gascoigne will take. Adams is up for it. Pierce.
Brian, I think the most relieved player on the field might not only be Nadal there, you know, it might be Hierro, whose header it was that caught them all napping. That was a great piece of goalkeeping by Zubizarreta. I wonder if that had been on the other side of the goal, Shearer bearing down on his right foot. I mean, it's a strong shot, but on his right foot, I think he might have slotted him.
Elsewhere. Number 14, here's Gareth Southgate, keeping close watch on him.
I think that'll have been a surprise to the England squad, actually. The way Spain have actually lined up front with Salinas and Kiko. That's two very orthodox.
Here's Salinas.
It's two very orthodox centre-forwards, Brian. Two, if you like, English-type centre-forwards. Right. Not the business of one playing behind the other or whatever. It's two out-and-out front players.
Clash between Platt and the Spanish player Alcorta. And a free kick given to Spain. Nadal. Number 18 is Amour. Now Gary Neville to Gascoigne. Neville. Gascoigne, nice touch, Sheringham. Adams. To Pierce. Sheringham in an unaccustomed position, quite as deep as that.
Yeah, I think you'll find in the course of the game there'll be an awful lot of patience play, if you like, because as soon as they lose possession, the Spaniards will all get back behind the ball, will all fill in spaces, and England at times will have to be forced to just pass the ball and, if you like, put extra passes in just to be patient.
Good jump by Adams, very strong indeed. But Abelardo did well for Spain. Kiko. Handling with Gascoigne, claims handball, referee agrees, free kick to Spain. Fernando Herrera will take. Tall and gifted midfield player, sweeping it wide. A little Sergi on the far side. He's done well. Corner.
That's where there's a big responsibility on our two wingers, McManaman and Anderson. If their flank defenders are just going to bum off, It's very, very important that the two wide players stick against them. If they don't want to stick against them, they've got to make sure that they're constantly making the Spanish wide players defend.
Long sweeping corner towards a tall Vieira. They'll sway. They'll sway again. And the goal kick. Abelardo gone forward.
Did you notice on that, even as that ball went in, Sergi was coming in right round the back.
Nadal. Yes. And now Gascoigne. Matt seeking out Neville. Just keeping it in nicely. Finds Shearer. Shearer finding, though, that Abelardo was very close at his back again.
Oh, he'll find that all match. He will have a constant shadow, and the sun's not out, that's for sure.
Sheringham to Gascoigne. A little flick by him, but it's cut out again by the Spaniards. Nadal getting that one clear. Gascoigne again. Long-range shot. Zubizarreta's down again. Now down in these early stages, who's the busier of the two keepers?
It's comfortable for him for that, but at least he gets the crowd up again. I mean, the players at the moment have got this relationship with the fans, and I think it's important that as much as they can to keep the fans lifted.
That to Anderton, Sheringham. Now Pearce. Platt again. Manovan. Salinas right back there. This is little Sergi. It's got Kiko. Sergi again. Salinas has now made up ground. This is a good break by the Spaniards. And as well for England that Anderton was back there. That was a terrific Spanish break.
A great responsibility by Anderton there. I mean, Adams is drawn right out the middle. Sergi's thrown a great ball across the middle. They just can't arrive on it, and they actually would have done. Belsu would have been in. Anderton there doing his defensive responsibility brilliantly.
Manyarin with the corner. Adams gets it away. Quarter. Sergi. Oh, he's done well. He's going to be a problem today. That's a cross coming in. England were all over the place there inside their 6-yard area. Adams launched himself, and it seemed actually didn't do anything very positive. And perhaps just a little fortunate to get away again.
Excellent ball in there, wasn't it, from Sergi? He needs nailing.
They'll sway with the cross. Offside flag is up. Against, I suspect, Salinas. Number 19. Very experienced player, 55 caps. And he scored 22 goals for his country.
Yeah, it's amazing, Brian. He never, ever, he doesn't look a player to me. And yet every time they need somebody, Clemente, the manager, always turns to him. It's almost as if he's his man in an hour of need.
Here's Pearce. Southgate. Anderton was well taken by Plax. It wasn't a particularly good ball for him. Gascoigne. A good little flick by him, opening up Sheringham. But Sheringham's return ball falls too easily for Amor, who scored that critical goal in the last game that put Spain into these quarterfinals. Adams, the captain. Shearer, no. An infringement and a free kick to Spain.
Shearer's not happy with that. He just feels he's held his strength against Abelardo. I wouldn't disagree with him there, actually. I think Abelardo, because he's got the insurance of a sweeper, has tried to get in front.
There's the free kick towards Kiko. Now England's ball. And it's back with David Seaman. Yes. That's Shearer coming deep. Space over on the right for Neville. Hanneman's gone down that side as well. Nadal's gone with him. Neville playing it in towards Gascoigne. Very nearly reached Gascoigne. Nadal battling, Sheringham, but the flag is up.
I think Sheringham thinks he's been penalised for foot up here.
Nadal taking his time and also taking a few yards, and the referee insisting that he goes back to where the free kick should be taken. Kiko, Amour, Nadal. Sway. Sway again. Piero. Amour. Sergi. Long range shot. The corner. It's the side netting of David Seaman's goal.
He's up for it though, isn't he? Sergi's bang up for the game. Two great crosses, and that's not the worst shot you've ever seen. And look at the distance against a keeper rated the best in the tournament.
Southgate to Pearce. Pearce. Patient play by England. Sheringham.
I think we've got to be careful, Brian, that while we are patient and while we are passing the ball about, which is good, we've still not got to lose sight of the fact that we've got to go forward a little bit and play forward.
Shearer's header. Nadal in very quickly.
You know, sometimes there's a tendency just to overplay. I think we've got to try and sometimes, particularly from midfield, I don't think I can't see Kiko seeing Adams off here. Sometimes from midfield we've got to try and look in quickly into Shearer. He likes that little quick ball in, and not give the Spaniards too much time to get bodies back behind the ball, which they're obviously going to do. They're going to fill in as many spaces as they can when they lose possession.
Sway with a throw for Spain. Good long one there, knocked away by Southgate. Sway. Would have been a player not unknown to Tony Adams. I guess he was in the Zaragoza side that played Arsenal in that Winners' Cup final. Here's Platt. Played on for Shearer. Knocked back again to Neville. Here's Gascoigne taking it. And McManaman. Look at this shuffling run here by Neville, but sadly for England, the ball just going out of play.
Yeah, unlucky there, but at least it's progressive. I mean, if he hadn't made the break, McManaman would have been forced to have just played a little ball back into the pack again. But at least he'd open and stretch things out.
Coming towards the 20-minute mark, your opening impressions of England's performance so far on?
Yeah, it's an attrition, isn't it? It's a battle of attrition, both sides. There's been a couple of crosses, England, as you say, with Shearer's shot, good shot. The best attempt, their nearest attempt, the Spanish nearest attempt, with 2 crosses from Sergei. Awful lot of midfield play, awful lot of, if you like, battling for supremacy.
Yes. Looking for a weakness all the time. Just the slide opening. McManaman, it's taken off him. And Abelardo got it away. A good long one. There's Kiko chasing. Here's Salinas supporting him. Gets it to Manjarin, and then to Belsué, and then to Hierro. And noticeable is McManaman right back there doing defensive duties, just as Anderton did a bit earlier. Okay.
Just looking at it now, I'm just wondering if there's any way. I mean, obviously caution comes into it and nobody wants to make a mistake. I just wonder whether young Neville could start taking Sergio a little bit and leaving McManaman further up the field. I wonder how the Spanish would react to that if McManaman started imposing his will and saying, all right, I'm an attacker, I'm going to stay up the field. Let Neville look after him when he breaks onto me. It's dangerous, it's a mind game if you like, Brian, but at least he gets McManaman in areas where he can be dangerous.
Nadal. A long ball through that Southgate kept his head very well there. A lot of pressure from Salinas.
He'd obviously be thinking about that error the other night, wouldn't he, as well, when he headed Bergkamp in.
Throw to Spain. Long way back to his Arsenal teammate, David Seaman. Sheridan. Nadal, it cannons off Gascoigne. Throw to Spain. Belsué with it. Or is it Manjarin? You've got the knowledge of Spanish, Ron? Manjarin?
I called him something else one night when he scored the winning goal for La Coruna against us. It's Manjarin.
Manjarin. But here he is again. Good play there by Platt. And now England with Gascoigne. Salinas is after him. He didn't spot him. Manjarin now. Gascoigne let it go. The flag is up. The flag is up. Fear not. Kiko put it away. But the French linesman instantly had his flag up. But certainly there was a warning there for Gascoigne. Gets badly dispossessed there. And suddenly Spain are through in a very dangerous area. And the flag was up straight away, as you saw.
Yeah. Gaz had dwelt on the ball, wanted all the time in the world. And if Kiko had have held his run, which he could have done, Seaman wouldn't have been doing anything about that. We'd have been 1-0 down.
Pierce. Shearer chasing and forces the corner out of Alporta.
That's brilliant centre forward play, that. Out of nothing, no cause. Southgate's is a long forward ball. Nothing on, he's forced us into an, because of his willingness, has got us in an advantageous position.
Terry Venables done a terrific job since that night of glory on Tuesday of keeping everybody's feet on the ground, making them aware of what a big job it is against Spain here today. Here's Gascoigne with the corner, stabbed away, and once again it's Manjarin bypassing Salinas, but here's little Sergi again. They've got to quell him. Well, Southgate, to be fair, got back quickly onto the right foot now, and then onto the left. Cross with the right, flying clearance by Adams. Sergi isn't finished yet though, knocking it back again. Platt getting it away. They're causing all sorts of problems down that flank. And now McManaman with a chance to run against Abelardo.
That has got to be a booking, Brian.
Well, if that's a booking, he's off.
That's got to be. He's actually stood there. That is sheer cynical. Watch this. He has no attempt. He knows he's going to get done for pace, Abelardo. Simply and purely stands in his way.
Well,
Justice would have been a goal there.
There was no booking. Sergi with the clearance up towards Salinas, but it hits Gareth Southgate instead. Neville to Gascoigne.
He's got to sharpen up, hasn't he? Doesn't look sharp, Gascoigne, at the moment. Looks lethargic. He might be better just playing one or two touch passes, just dropping it off quickly and nice and bright before he's getting. Because obviously, Hierro and people like that are going to single him out and challenge him very, very quickly. But I think Abelardo's a lucky boy to still be on the field, mate. It wasn't a violent foul, but it was cynical because he didn't half take an advantage away from McManaman.
Free kick to England. Coming up to 25 minutes, 0-0.
Very happy with Shearer's contribution. Worked very hard. Has run both channels on both sides. Possibly needs more support when he's making his forward runs.
Neville with a little ball played inside. Moore who got it clear. Hierro. Belsway. Hierro wanting it back again and gets it. Nadal. Abelardo to Nadal. Porter. Sway. And Harin, will he get there? He's just got there in the nick of time before the ball crossed the line. Played back again to Sergi. Hierro. Porter. Playing some good stuff here of Spain. And in the end, it goes behind for the corner.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They're popping the ball about all over the pitch, and what they're doing, they're making a lot of our attacking players defend. And Sheringham's been well back in defence. McManaman and Anderson's actually, I think, virtually stopped a goal with that earlier interception.
I think you'll agree that Clemente, the manager's spirit and teamwork have always been pretty high essentials on his list. And, you know, for what is really an away game here, they're showing a lot of spirit and playing some good stuff for Spaniards. Hierro's header just knocking it down. Porter couldn't get there, but it comes to Belsway, and that should be David Seaman.
I think, if anything, England are playing with, they're trying to play too patient. And I think that we were clever, we played with our heads and everything against the Dutch, but we also played with a lot of fire and a lot of drive. And at the moment, I think we're playing steady. I think I'd like to see us try and pick up the tempo, if you like, and try and, if you like, take advantage of what we did the other night.
Here's Stuart Pearce for England. Nadal cuts out the cross. Flicked on by Salinas, but David Platt is there for England. Adams. were 11-8 on to win this match today. That looks Spain at 4-1.
That's a big prize, Brian. I didn't know that.
Spain at 4-1.
I mean, I must admit, I fancied England before the game to win it, but I don't think there's a hair's breadth in this game. I have a little fancy that we might even see the first golden goal in this game.
Yes, if it's level after 90 minutes, we go into extra time, but then it's a sudden death goal. Whoever scores the first goal wins the game, even if it's 15 seconds into extra time. And if there's no goals at the end of extra time, then of course we have the penalty shootout. Alcorta, Belsway, Piero, Nadal, Abelardo, and Harin to Belsway. That gets it clear. Here's Hierro.
At the moment, it's hanging on time. It's digging in trenches and making sure we don't concede at the moment. Because whilst we're not getting overrun, they are certainly bossing the game about at the moment.
There's Manharin towards Salinas, too high for him.
I mean, somehow the likes of David Platt, who's playing, I understand he's got the inch role of sitting in the middle of the park and getting the anchor job. Somehow or other, he or Gascoigne or somebody from midfield, even Sheringham, has got to somehow or other stretch the game back. They've got to run the Spaniards back towards their own goal a little bit more. As I say, we're getting players in unnatural positions having to do defending.
And the line towards Shearer, battling away there against Alcorta.
That has been quite a good link-up, actually, Pearce to Shearer. Normally when Stuart Pearce gets it, his first look is into Alan Shearer.
Free kick for England then, which Gascoigne will take. Adams is forward.
Oh, we do with the slice here, Brian. We could do with the slice. One of Gascoigne's quality balls, and then somebody, Platt or somebody, just getting the first touch on it.
Gascoigne lining up behind this free kick, floating a good ball in there, and just tipped over. It was Tony Adams. The quality ball was there that Ron Atkinson was talking about. Adams launched himself at it, almost in a nonchalant little tip over by Zubizarreta.
Pity it was so close.
Big Zubizarreta, who played under Terry Venables, of course, at Barcelona. Spain get this one away quite comfortably. Big Salinas. Played to Nadal. Kiko coming towards it, but Pearce knocks it back again. Gascoigne almost had that. Anderton's got it instead, though. Hitting a long cross in there towards Teddy Sheringham. Sheringham turning it back in. And Abelardo comfortably getting the ball away for Spain. Hierro. Abelardo. Hierro. More. Sergi. Offside against Salinas.
I'm rather surprised. I think maybe Clementi's given us a bit too much respect in that he's played Salinas, you know, because I would have thought Tony Adams would much prefer playing against the likes of Julio Salinas than maybe one of the quicker, one of the brighter forwards that they have in their pack.
Neville playing it towards Teddy Sheringham. The whistle gone.
Ooh, we could have done with that one going our way. Because Teddy Sheringham had peeled right away from Nadal. field right away here, and I'm not sure that's a free kick, you know.
No, I'm not either.
In fact, I know it's not. Well, it is, because he's given it. But I think the Spanish have been a touch lucky there. But that was a good movement from Sheringham. Up in the danger zone, peeling off their last defender.
Nadal, big and strong with 2 headers there, determined to show Sheringham that he was going to be the boss in the air. Salinas. Manharin. Oh, missed it completely, Salinas. But the flag is up again. It's the second time the Spanish have had the ball in the nets. And the second time they've been ruled out. Wow. Was it?
It looked a mile off. Your first impression was it was a mile off. But that is very much a hair's breadth again.
The flag was a long time coming up.
I think it was off. In fact, I hope it was off. Because they got in by accident at the end. It was Hayera's missed kick that actually got them clean through.
Adams. Find Anderton, finds him all right. No sooner that than our quarters across there, supported by Hierro. Sheringham's header. And again, finding Pearce, a little touch by him. Sheringham can't hold on to that one though, and here comes Spain again. Hierro fanning out all these red shirts. Amor, and little Sergi has made a good break again, and it's just gone wide, and I'm not sure whether there was a handball by Sergi. Possibly that's what the referee's giving, just inside the box.
He has actually given handball. A lot of referees wouldn't, but the danger of that is the way Sergi has got on the back, if you like, of Steve McManaman. That would be worrying there. I mean, that's the problem you have when sometimes you ask forward players, naturally attacking forward players, to have a defensive responsibility.
At the moment, it doesn't look like Tuesday night, does it?
No, but we need a spark. I mean, don't forget Tuesday night was a bit so-so, and then we get a penalty that goes our way. We need something to go out. We certainly need Gaza to start playing. We certainly need him to start playing better than that. I just wonder, and it's hard to change your tactics, I wonder whether we might be better for a little spell just to sit Gaza in front of the back 4 and put David Pleat in a more supporting position. Here's the offside. David Platt even, sorry, yeah. That might not have been offside, you know.
No, I don't think it was.
We might have had a little bit of get out of jail on that one.
Kiko. Cut out by Neville. Here's Platt. Sheringham. Neville again.
I know you like, and I certainly like Gascoigne up high in the high part of the field where he can do a trick or put a telling ball in. But at the moment, he hasn't really got a contribution to the game.
Quarter chased by Shearer.
How many times have you heard that said already? Al Porter chased by Shearer, and England get the advantage. I mean, I think those are the things that people don't always recognise about top players. I've said before, he does it a lot. Ian Rush was a master of it.
Here's Pearce. Onto the right foot. Not his best one. And in fact, it's a foul by Sheringham, jumping into the defender.
From the Spanish point of view, they could count themselves unlucky not to be at least one up, you think. The other thing they've done, of course, they've quietened this euphoria, if you like. I mean, there was a great euphoria. Referee, by the way, does give me the impression he's fussy on things like that. Every time there's any sort of shoulder-to-shoulder contact, he gives a free kick. Usually, I might add, against England.
Zubizarreta with the kick. Salinas trying to flick it on. Sergi will pick up anything that's loose, just as he's done here. Salinas going through. They are looking the more dangerous side. The Spanish are looking certainly the better together and the more dangerous side.
Yeah, the compact are up for it, and at the moment we look as if we're on a little bit of a come down after the other night.
to be fair, they've not lost in 19 games and not lost since the World Cup in '94. And they're playing like a side that's used not to losing. Here comes the cross. Alcorta gets it away. Hierro almost nonchalantly to Manharin. Oh, fell for you luckily there, though. Belsway. Hierro. Amor. Sergi. Hierro. Avelado. All the way back to Nadal.
This fella's had more touches of the ball than any player on the field at the moment, Hierro. Everything comes through him. He's always available. And he's also a very, very strong thrusting player, which he hasn't done yet at the moment. He's just happy to sit in that role Paul Ince occupies for England.
Gascoigne flicking it back to Pearce. By Shearer, but the flag was up quite rightly for an offside against Teddy Sheringham.
Correct, but the encouraging thing for me was at least when he attacks that ball, he's got a partner there, Shearer. He's got somebody up alongside him, somebody ready to go into the second ball.
Gascoigne. Shearer. McManaman. That's what the crowd wanted. The crowd, look how they've responded to the real first McManaman run. All right, it's been stopped in the end by Avelado, I think it was, but it's the first time we've seen it, and the crowd responded. Manharin playing the ball in.
It was also the thing that set it up against Scotland, wasn't it?
Yep.
Straight after half-time, McManaman got set off. He was on fire for 10 or 15 minutes, lifted the crowd, lifted the team. And games change on little incidents like that. I'm forever stressing that. It's somebody that just gives his whole team or gives the fans a lift.
Sheringham. Pearce. That's a foul there by Belsway. It's a yellow card for him. Wasn't carrying one into the game, but he knows he's now got to watch his step for the rest of this one. Gascoigne again with a free kick. Adams again has gone forward just as he did for an earlier one.
I think cleverness here, Brian, would be great to McManaman. Let him have another go at Belsway quickly.
Well, it's McManaman who's got the ball now. Shearer's Gascoigne's got it back again. Kiko getting it clear. Salinho. And the flag has stayed down. Manharin is a chance here. Oh, and David Seaman right out of his goal. And Pearce coming back to save the day. We were so nearly caught out there. Gascoigne has got the crowd going. But here comes Spain again. They continue to look marginally the better side. Hierro. Belsway. Kiko making a break. Salinas trying to finish it off. Seaman couldn't be sure whether it was a back pass or not, so he had to clear it that way. A foul there by Alcorta.
Brian, I've got a feeling, I'd like to see that one. When I see that one, I've got a feeling that that's as good a piece of goalkeeping from Seaman as when he made the penalty stop last week. I've got a feeling he's actually kidded the Spanish attacker there. And made him play early. He's made him play. I think he's given the impression he was going to fly at him, and he hasn't.
Here's Pearce. Crossing there towards Shearer, taken on the body. Finds Gascoigne, tries to quicken things up with the ball through to Anderton, but it didn't come off. Shearer gets it back again for England. And now McManaman. Neville's outside him. Back we go again.
At the moment, Shearer's our lion.
Neville. McManaman. That's more like it. McManaman. Sheringham is waiting in the middle there. Anderton's cross. And the whistle has gone. It's a free kick to Spain.
Yeah, feet up from David Platt, but at least he surged in there to win the second ball. You know, we need a bit of that. We need a bit of pickup at the moment.
Well, Seaman, as you say, was terrific.
Yeah, he's through. There's no question of offside here. He's clean through here. Now, at this stage, I get the feeling that he thinks he's going to come and clatter him. But Seaman checked. Seaman made as if he was going to come all the distance and then just checked. And I think he's actually made Manharin knock it onto him. Manharin thought he was going to knock it past him and follow it, run it into an empty net. I got a feeling that was magnificent goalkeeping that maybe won't be noticed too much. People might think that's a bit of lucky keeping. I got a feeling that Seaman has kidded him magnificently there. Well, played a game of double bluff, if you like.
That's right. Back to Zubizarreta. In fact, both goalkeepers have acquitted themselves really well so far this afternoon.
They've actually, when they came out, I watched Zubizarreta. I have to say, I've never been his biggest fan, but he looks strong. He looks as if he's got some presence. Certainly, David Seaman has done for a long, long time.
Salinas to Kiko. Salinas could be a problem here. No, it was Tony Adams that stopped him. It comes to McManaman every time he gets the ball, and every time he sets off with it, the crowd just listen to their response. Gascoigne, Shearer and Sheringham all waiting in the middle. But came to nothing. There he is again. Right. Adams. England pushing men forward now. Anderton wanted it, but it's gone through to Shearer. Now Anderton. Sheringham's waiting. So too was Nadal.
But I'd like to see seeing Anderton have a go at the defender from there. Try and take the ball on another 20 yards, not just get it on his right foot and slant it into the heart of their defence, because they're always going to have a number of bodies around that penalty spot. The way they play, Nadal's always going to be in there. If either Alcorta or Abelardo go missing. So if you're throwing a right-footed in-swinger into the heart of them there, they should be favourites. I'd like to see him try and take the last man on and get to the dead ball line a bit more.
Nadal's free kick. Kiko chasing. Well, there's the half-time whistle. And Spain probably have made the better chances. But it's England 0, Spain 0. Second half. Spain have made 2 substitutions. Caminero and Alfonso are on. There's Alfonso, number 11, going for it now. And it's Manharin and Salinas who've gone. Sheringham. Neville. What a nice favourable dance off Sergi, but he couldn't get past Abelardo. Piero. To Alfonso. Beaten by McManaman. Alfonso fighting back though. Sheringham. Sway waiting to take the throw for Spain. Caminero with the header.
It's a little bit of a surprise to find him not playing in the first place, Caminero, because he's been one of their, if you like, shining lights over the last 2 years in most of Clemente's teams. Just come off the back of a tremendous club season as well.
Gascoigne beaten by Belsuet. And here comes Spain again.
And he's got a goals record of nearly 1 in 2, I think it is, Brian, for at international level, which is excellent from midfield.
Sergei flattered there by Neville, and I think Neville's going to get a yellow card, and he's already got a yellow card, which means that England go through to the semi-finals. Gary Neville will be missing. Neville claimed that the Spaniard was making a meal of it, but Gary Neville misses the next match. Sergei is saying, it's hard for me to get up, you want me to get up? But in the end, Amor helps him to his feet. But that's a real blow for England if they get through to the semis.
Yeah, well, I think first things first, Brian. I think let's get there first. I mean, he may very well let his brother in for the game.
Yep.
That sort of thing. But at the moment...
Piero's free kick finds Alfonso. Still with Alfonso, and he very nearly found Kiko with it.
Well, I wondered about that in the first place. Tony Adams will be unhappier against somebody that moves his feet quick. And Alfonso's obviously sharper than Julio Salinas.
Sergei to Kiko. The English crowd obviously feel that Sergei, number 12, made a meal of that challenge, and by the way, Neville kicked the ball hard in that direction and not close enough for Sergei to pick it up and take the throw. Gives an impression of the disappointment that Gary Neville feels.
Yeah, but he's got to get that out of his mind now. He's got to focus, he's got to concentrate, he's got to deal with the Sergei problem, because Sergei has been a problem.
Well, here he is again. Amor to Nadal, back to Amor again. A good advantage played there. Hierro, long-range shot, but well wide of David Seaman's goal. But Spain are continuing to dominate this game.
Brian, we're all bits and pieces, aren't we, England? I mean, that's a Hierro shot, which is quite a bit wide. But at the moment, they've taken over where they left off, running the game. He's a tough little so-and-so, him, you know, Clemente. He's a tough cookie, and he transmits that through to his team. His team are playing very, very brave.
Abelardo. Caminero. This is a good break again, and look who's right in there. Little Sergei, if there was the slightest error by Gary Neville.
Doesn't hesitate, Sergei. As soon as he sees any of the midfield players, any of the Spanish midfield players with good possession, he just sets off, he gambles, and he's getting some right stick from the crowd, but I think there's also a little bit of acceptance of what a good player he is there.
Alfonso. Oh. Has he given a penalty? No, I think he's given a free kick to England. And he's fact showing a yellow card, to much applause from the England fans, to Alfonso, because he felt that Alfonso had made too much of a meal of that, although I have to say,
Brian, that is the luckiest,
extremely lucky.
That is the luckiest free kick England will ever have in the history of the game. That's a penalty. That is the... If we win this, that French referee will go down in history with Russian linesmen.
I mean, in the strictest terms now, Spain have had a goal knocked out that looked very, very decidedly borderline. They may have been onside, and now they've had very, very strong appeal for a penalty turned down.
How do you feel if you're a striker going through like that? Not only getting robbed of the penalty, but getting booked for it.
Yes. Moore losing it for a moment. Nadal is there. strong man at the back, Nadal, with not the best of disciplinary records. In fact, he missed the first 2 games of this tournament because of a sending off in a match against Macedonia just before these championships.
But I have to say, Brian, I've seen plenty of him. He's not an animal.
No.
I mean, he's a competitor, he's a tackler.
Well, here he is again, just holding up McManaman.
And he's also a good defender.
And there he goes again. He got sent off, actually, in the first 25 minutes of the '94 World Cup, if you remember, against Korea. Well, there's some more defending for the Spaniards to do. That was some good play. It'll come to Sheringham. It'll come to McManaman. And just wide of the goal there as Shearer came flying in. That's the most dangerous England we've looked for quite a while.
Yeah, we got a lucky rebound that sprung the ball back to McManaman. I wonder whether Shearer might have gone in head first on this, or might have launched himself at it. I also wonder whether McManaman might have took on his left side and had a shot. But at least we've got some momentum from it, because at the moment, I don't know, Terry and Brian Robson, I would guess, would look there just wondering where the next piece of inspiration is coming from.
Gascoigne's header. Won by Nadal for Spain. And Neville gets it back. Seaman. Will Sheringham get there? No foul. In fact, the free kick has been given to Spain. And Nadal takes it, driving it towards Alfonso. Anderton. Delicate little chip by him, finding Sheringham. That's Porter. Now Nadal. Abelardo. Or rather, Piero. Belsway. Down the line to Caminero. Sweeping it to this side of the field to Sergi. Played inside quickly. Amor. Kiko. Alfonso. What quick feet he's got. But Gascoigne beat him there. And away goes McManaman. But Belsway was covering well. Zubizarreta with the clearance. Stopped again by Anderton. Get a feeling that England are beginning to blossom here. Kiko. Platt getting involved. Abelardo with the clearance. Adams versus Alfonso. Sheringham's header. Will Gascoigne pounce? No, because Belsway's there. Piero. Played by Belsway.
Looking from half-time, Brian, I think the biggest noticeable difference tactically from England's point of view is, I think in the first half, McManaman was being told that Sergei was his responsibility. It looks very much now as if Gary Neville's been given that and said, right, you're a natural right-sided defender, you have no left winger to mark, you take Sergei's problem, and we'll let McManaman attack for us, which to me makes it's a brave, it's logical, and when I say it's a gamble, it's a positive gamble. But theoretically, anyway, gets one of our attacking players doing what he should be doing, attacking.
That's right.
This gives Gary Neville a chance to load more pressure on with one of his long ones.
Hanneman and Shearer, Platt and Sheringham are all based in there. It's Teddy Sheringham going for this one. Not done again. Sheringham didn't get a touch and the flag stayed down.
Oh, that's a glorious opportunity. He knows it. That is a glorious opportunity. There's the long throw. It goes right the distance of the goal. The bounce beats everybody. Anderton keeps it in the zone. A little bit more agility from Teddy Sheringham and we should be in the lead.
Sergi. Kiko. Still with Kiko. Still with Kiko. Oh, his selfishness got the better of him then, and there were two. Alfonso had made a terrific break from him. So did Caminero, to be honest with you, and you can see what the Spanish coach Clemente feels about it. That was a glorious chance, but the chance wasn't Kiko's necessarily.
I mean, it's good feet again. He sits Adams down, throws it to the far post when maybe, I think maybe, I don't even know whether he intended to shoot across here.
Out from the referee there. McManaman. McManaman. No foul. And a goal kick.
He's doing his utmost there, Abelardo, wasn't he, to stay out of the trouble. He's made some sort of... He hasn't. He's just stood out the way, but he's done enough to put McManaman off. I think if England have had a stroke of... or if Spain have had a stroke of luck, it was when Abelardo blocked McManaman off in the first half and was allowed to stay on.
Kiko stopped by Adams.
But apart from that, Brian, I think all the breaks have gone our way.
They are now. Here's Anderton down the left. Three white shirts are waiting in the middle. He'll put it onto his right foot. Sheringham's going for this one. Put Zubizarreta off. But he can... Oh! That's got to be a free kick. That has got to be a free kick. That's got to be, in a sense, a back pass. And England get a free kick just inside the box. Spain have pulled everybody back. Not surprising. Gascoigne will look to conjure up maybe a little bit of magic here somewhere. Pearce has come wide as well, and he might just play it for Stuart Pearce. He might just... No, he hasn't. He's played it for Gary Neville, and it came to nothing. And suddenly, there could be a problem at the other end. It's Belsway on the ball for them now. Sergi has gone steaming forward. A great ball from Belsway. And they're peeling off there. Caminero's on the far side, Alfonso too, and in the end, Tony Adams had to put it behind for the corner. That was a real threat to England, and a super counter-attack by the Spaniards.
And it was a threat, Brian, by one of our best situations, an indirect free kick in their box. I think Paul Gascoigne was totally irresponsible with that kick.
Alfonso then will take the corner. No, he won't. But Alporta's up there. Corner comes in, David Platt banging it away. Adams. Seaman. Commendable coolness there. Finding Southgate. Towards Sheringham. Nadal is there. Oh, Gascoigne's through. There's a chance here now for Gascoigne. Again, the Spanish were defending well, supremely well, and Moore got the charge in.
Brian, am I imagining things? I thought Gazza was clean through. Yep. Why he veered out right, I do not know. If he'd have gone for the heart of the defence, he'd have been looking at Zubizarreta. I mean, he put a trick in where it wasn't necessary. He's caught play up brilliant here now. I think he should just go for the heart and then put it outside his right foot. He's given them too much time to recover, and they've ran him out. The opening was there, and I'm amazed he didn't go for it too early.
Anderton.
If there's anything coming from this little spell, is we're playing with a lot more, if you like, a lot more fire than we had in the first half. We're making more things happen.
Caminero Through to Kiko. Played in again for Little Amour. He's gone down. The referee, everybody look at the referee. The referee said, get up. There's no penalty there. And England will be on the attack again with Sheringham. But again, there was a moment of acute danger as Spain came sweeping forward. Gascoigne. Here's Adams forward. Neville. Shearer. Get after that, he says to Neville. But Abelardo is chasing too. Shearer playing it into the middle. And on the far side was McManaman and Anderton, and it went just wide of that England goal. Well, it was a terrific break.
Good break, great play by Neville on this side. Thrust forward on the right, turns it back to Shearer. Shearer's cross to the far post. Anderton, a near miss. I also would question whether Anderton may have taken a touch and gone in a little bit cooler. I mean, it's a good strike. It would have been a wonder goal, but it looked very much as if it was one of those opportunities. Take a touch and place it.
Adams going to that one. Sheringham. This is a good spell for England. The crowd are responding to it as well. England's throw.
We've thrown off the shackles a little bit. We look as if we're starting to get what we had going the other night, which was adrenaline. You know, if we sit and wait, we'll get beaten. But at least we're driving the game now.
McManaman with the throw. Anderton's there too. Darren Anderton. Pearce being forced to back pedal.
I don't think there's any question as well. I said that thing I was talking about earlier about Gary Neville. I mean, McManaman's been given his Liverpool role. Go where you like, son, and attack. Neville's responsibility is to look after Sergei. Push onto him, go virtually 1v1.
Alcorta gets it clear. Up towards Alfonso. Kiko battling with Adams. It's a really absorbing game, though.
It is now, because we've started to come into it. I mean, first half, I thought we were very, very sterile.
Southgate. Banged in a good cross there towards Sheringham. Nodded down by him as Shearer came in. McManaman. Anderton. There's the cross towards Shearer. And that was a shot from Southgate that deflected off the defender, and suddenly Spain might come springing forward again. Alfonso battling to get it. Kiko finding Caminero. And he'd spotted David Seaman off the line.
Like a lot of games in knockout competitions, though, the second half, when people realise that, you know, it's getting nearer the moment of truth, they do tend to pick up in the second half, and this game, as a game now, is no exception.
Southgate being given licence to roam down that right-hand side. But we might still need him to defend as Kiko finds Alfonso. And here's Caminero. But Anderton did well. McManaman. Past one. Past another. Taking on all comers. But still the big Nadal to get by. Oh, but Sheringham picks this one up. Looking for Gary Neville. And now for David Platt. Long-range shots. Goal kick.
We've got far more crosses in as well in this half, and no matter what anybody says, that is a strength of our game. When that's Platty shooting from a distance, no real threat on goal, but at least we're getting some balls into the danger area, and that is our way of playing. That is what the likes of Shearer, Teddy Sheringham's good in the last 12 yards of the field if the ball is played into the air. And I'd be amazed if Terry hasn't said at half-time, look, We're sitting and waiting for the game. Let's go and make something happen.
Shearer. Hit long. Gascoigne's out in that sort of territory. Bill Sway gets it, but only as far as Anderton. Here's the cross again. McManaman's coming for this one, but so was Zubizarreta. Sergi, crowd won't let him forget the booking of Gary Neville. Amor, that's a good ball. Well, Sway on the far side. It needs a good cross. But the ball is kept in play. Alfonso. Sergi. Piero. Sergi again. Caminero. Oh, just as well for England that Platt came in. Kiko was poised. And it's a corner for Spain. Caminero with the corner. A deep one towards the tall Hierro. And Nadal cleanly about 50 feet over David Seaman's crossbar. Thinking of his next move.
He also knows that for a long period of the game they dominated the game and didn't take advantage of that domination, and now the game's become a lot more even-steven.
Bobby Robson, a man whose immediate footballing future lies in Spain, of course, with Barcelona. Nadal is one of his Barcelona players. Gets the ball away. That. Sheringham's up there, touching it down for Shearer. Oh, he's gone past Nadal, he's got it back, and that must have come off Zubizarreta. Sheringham has taken up a great position as well, a great run, forceful run by Shearer.
Brian, I've never seen him play better for England, Shearer. His thrust, you were just hoping somebody get a nick on his ankles and bring him down. But to me, he's been everything. A goal would top off his performance today.
Anderton's corner. Adams at the near post. Gascoigne knocking it wide again, but inaccurate enough for Anderton not to be able to get hold of it. A throw to Spain.
You showed Bobby Robson there. I bet he's looking forward to having a left full back like Sergio, although he's just made a right rick with that throw in to work alongside. That's been the biggest single difference for me this half. We've pushed the game about 30-40 yards higher up the field. Whereas in the first half, McManaman, Anderton, Platt, people that were defending in our own penalty box, now they're putting the threat on the edge of the Spanish box.
Here's Southgate. Neville. And Adams back once again carefully to Seaman. Banged it long. Bell Sway. Caminero. Still Caminero. Abelardo. Hierro. Plenty of movement up ahead for him now. Goal kick.
I know he can crack a ball, but he has refused two good options there. I mean, both strikers, Alfonso and Kiko, making little runs, little positions for him that he could have fed in.
He was their top scorer in the qualifying games with 4 goals from midfield. Here's Pearce on the far side now for England. McManaman. And now Nadal. It's a good ball. He's played a good ball there for Caminero. And now for Belsway. Kiko's in the middle. Caminero again. Kiko. Alfonso. Caminero couldn't get there. Hierro. Sway. Caminero. Room for him to turn, possibly. Kiko. Well, it's come again to Amor. There's the cross. It's Caminero. Well, that certainly looked a penalty.
That's either a penalty or the tackle of the central.
Well, here we go now with McManaman at the other end. And Gascoigne and 3 others are up for England. Oh, my goodness, Shearer was in there. And from right under the Spanish crossbar, he somehow found a way of getting it over it. Gascoigne's run.
He's thrown it into the danger zone. He's lunged, maybe an eye on the keeper, maybe just one eye on the keeper there. England's best chance. It's almost a pity he didn't make contact with it because Sheringham was piling in as well behind him.
In the meantime, the Spaniards have made a substitution. Taken Al Quarter off. Let's have a look at this again first. Sergei.
I think they did have a shout for a penalty there, but it wasn't as apparent to me as the other one Alfonso should have had early on.
Kiko having his shirt pulled back by Tony Adams. Okay. Juan Manuel Lopez, who's played the last couple of games, was dropped for this one, has come on now as a substitute for Spain in place of Alcorta. Taken up Alcorta's position as a centre-back, and he is marking Shearer. Abelardo. Platt with a header. Flag is up for an offside.
But the improvement in England this half is immense, isn't it? From what was a very, very poor first half performance. We're now playing. We've more than matched Spain in this half.
We've also had the rub of the green one.
Yes, oh, very much so. Very much so. I mean, they should have had. They could have had a goal, which was disallowed for offside. They could quite conceivably have had 2 penalties.
But it's still 0-0.
And we are getting better.
With a quarter of an hour to go. Gascoigne. Shearer. Shearer again. Shearer to Gascoigne. Just couldn't take it. Just couldn't take it on board. Gascoigne then claiming it was a back pass to Zubizarreta. Referee didn't want to know about that.
That'd be harsh, wouldn't it, to give that as a back pass? Very harsh.
Alfonso leaving it to Caminero. Trying to bring Belsway into it. Down the line for Kiko.
If we come out on top here, Brian, and you know, I still think it's a toss-up whether we do or not. I think Terry Venables has got to be given a lot of credit for changing the tactics again at half-time, i.e. pushing Neville and making him look after the right-hand side, and letting this fella on the ball now have all the freedom to play like he does for Liverpool.
Here's Southgate. But you wouldn't like to put your money where the next goal's coming from, would you? Or the first goal's coming from.
No, but I'd be a lot more confident of England scoring it now than I was at half-time, that's for sure.
Amor to Alfonso. Stopped by Platt.
Because all of a sudden, I mean, that's a loose ball, but all of a sudden we do look as if we're at it now.
Caminero. Hit long. Alfonso up there alone. And then beaten by Southgate. Quite comfortably too. Neville. Pierce to Gascoigne. Anderton. McManaman. Here he goes. Abelardo got that one away. Caminero. Could be trouble here. Alfonso's made a good move for him as well. He's played it for Alfonso. But Seaman. The game was quickly out, determined that the ball was going to be his. And here come England once more. It's full of tension and thrilling stuff at the moment.
Oh, it's a good game now. Much better game than it was. But it's a much better tempo. No matter how we pass the ball and whatever, I always think English teams play better at the tempo.
Amor finds Alfonso. Back to Hierro. Kiko. Hierro. Caminero. Hierro again. And again, Hierro. More. The break could be on, and again, Seaman's agility.
Yeah, Tony Adams has got to be a little bit careful. You know, he's gone following the ball into midfield areas there where we've nearly got picked off. He's actually just turned around off the screen, then had a blast at Paul Gascoigne for not picking up in there.
Now, the man who's got freedom, McManaman, tries his way through the centre, doesn't get anywhere. Spain lock the door again, get it out to Sergi, and then Alfonso. Amor, nice touch here. Amor again, and little Sergi's racing, but Neville's there first.
It's become a great duel now. I mean, as I say, first half, Sergi was always engaging McManaman in that defensive area. Now he's up against a natural defender who can match him.
Alfonso twisting and turning. Kiko. Hierro. Stop like that. And now Sheringham. And now McManaman. Shearer's wide on his left. Men in white shirts trying to get forward as quickly as they can. Still with Shearer. And now with Gascoigne. Nadal, the saviour again for Spain. But then gives it away. Needs to get back and defend as Pearce takes it forward. It's real end-to-end stuff now. Sheringham, the only man in the box for England at the moment. Here's Gascoigne, though. Sheringham's pulled away to the far post for him. Still not a lot of support. Neville. Played in again towards Teddy Sheringham. He got up well.
That's lovely to see Gary Neville now making Sergi do what Gary Neville's had to do most of the match, and that's defend.
Caminero now for Spain. To Kiko. Alfonso in the middle. Hierro. El Sway. Amor. Cut out by Platt. And now Neville. To Southgate. And bang forward. And into touch. Well, we're about 7 minutes away now from the possibility of extra time and the golden goal coming into play. Adams. Anderton. Neville. Gascoigne. Adams again. Southgate once more. Ball's gone with him. But he's still got a cross in towards McManaman on the far side. Belsway gets it clear. Infringement by Anderton, a free kick which Lopez will take for Spain. Kiko pushing in on Adams. England's free kick. Adams shoving everybody out of the way so that he can get it taken, and here's Neville. Flat. Adams. Gascoigne. McManaman. Oh, Lopez positioned himself well. Ball out of play. The linesman's got his flag up. England throw. McManaman with it. Anderton. McManaman. Here's Neville. Support from Southgate. Neville again. A good cross coming in once more. And Spain were lining up to get it away. He had just cleared Nadal's head, but for Spain, Lopez was behind him. Oh, very good play there by Caminero. Certainly got the better of Anderton, as he got the legs of him too. What he has got, he's got plenty of support, and he's just got Alfonso up. Here's Alfonso. Piero. Amor. Sergi. Sergi's cross towards Caminero. Nodded out to Belsway. And now for Piero. Mustn't let him get it onto that left foot. There's a possibility here for Kiko. Oh my goodness, that was nip and tuck for England. Piero, they're not away yet. And now Sergi again playing it in. It comes off Neville. And Seaman gets it away in the nick of time. Nadal. Good spell this now for Spain. Kiko looked to have had a really good chance there. Just delayed it a fraction. Amor. Piero. Alfonso. Free kick. Dangerous position.
Very dangerous. He's an awkward customer, Alfonso. Quick feet. He's made some great spin runs away from Adams. When Tony Adams has been caught ball watching once or twice. What might be a little worry for the England team as it draws to a close, you know, is Spain haven't half had a lot of late goals in the competition.
Yes. To be favourite to take this one. Fernando Hierro. Just too high. Firmly behind England now, pushing them for one big effort. A little over 2 minutes left, and then we're into extra time and the golden goal.
That's brilliant, isn't it? They've all sensed the situation. The fans now trying to do their utmost to lift.
One of the few bad balls he's played all day. Tony Adams. A throw to Spain.
I think he's been very, very strong, Tony Adams, and powerful. As I say, what does worry me a little bit, they put Southgate on the right-hand side of the defence to compensate for Neville pushing on. But sometimes Alfonso just spins away from Tony Adams and once or twice hasn't been spotted in with passes.
Nadal then. Finding Abelardo. Kiko. Oh, good save! That was an excellent save. And what's more, he killed it with his dive, and as well he did, because Abelardo was flying in looking for any little rebound. Neville. Here we go again. Alfonso. In the last minutes, Bill Sway comes up. Don't think a Spaniard will get to that. He won't. It'll be a goal kick.
You see, the other thing, Brian, with the mentality sort of thing is at one stage you would say, all right, let's wait for the extra half an hour. But with the new golden goal, here's the shot that he hangs on to, Sleeman. But with the extra, you know, or a goal being scored 15 seconds or whatever into extra time, it doesn't really matter about hanging on and giving you yourself the insurance of the half an hour.
Yes, England got subs warming up. Whether that will be a tactic to bring fresh legs on for this period of extra time.
You know, I've just got a hunch, and I don't know whether Terry would do it. I'd like to see Les Ferdinand be given a run out. I'd just like to see his blistering pace on this pitch, alongside Shearer. Whether he decided to pull one of the wide, well, when I say one of the wide players, you wouldn't pull McManaman off.
Well, here's McManaman now. Pearce just dinking it through. McManaman chasing, goal kick. Played a minute or so of time added on. Adams to Platt. Southgate banging it forward. Sheringham. Anderton. Oh, cut out, not a good ball. Sergei making a break. Alfonso's in the middle for him. Neville doing his best to hold him up, but Sergei takes some stopping, and his cross comes in, cannons off the legs of Neville, and Seaman throws it out quickly to Platt. That's cut out in turn by Hierro. And now Caminero. Alfonso. But Platt drives forward again for England to Gascoigne. Lopez. Caminero. Just one up. Yeah. That was a terrific piece of goalkeeping, a wonderful piece of anticipation there by David Seaman. Kiko was through, and if he'd been a yard or so back, Kiko would have got in there.
That is as brave as you'll ever see that, because he could have got everything kicked in there. David Seaman is flown out there in the course.
Kiko cross towards Caminero. My goodness, that just cleared the top of his head. Abelardo gets there. Now Sheringham, as the whistle goes for the end of 90 minutes, we go into extra time and the possibility of the golden goal. 0-0 after 90 minutes between England and Spain. Underway. Nobody knows how long this will last because of the golden goal situation. Whoever scores the first goal now, if it comes even in the next half minute or so, the game is over. Whoever scores the first goal now wins the game. If it goes to the full 30 minutes of extra time, and then we have, as usual, a penalty shootout. Moment of history, really, in a major competition. The Autoglass final between Birmingham and Carlisle last season ended that way. Paul Tate scoring for Birmingham. But in a major competition, first time it's ever been done. And really, these players, Ron, nobody quite knows how to handle it.
Well, I must admit, I'd be sitting there looking and thinking, well, how do you play it? Do you play it ultra cautious, or do you say, all right, forget it and get the trumpets out and go to the sound of that? I think mentally it's a very hard sort of thing to get attuned to.
Elsewhere. Trying to get it through to Caminero from Kiko. Anderton gets it away. Spain doing the pressing. It's Kiko. The ball going through, cut out again by Stuart Pearce. A little touch by him. Terrific pressure on the players. One mistake by them, and the whole afternoon is up and over.
The other thing, how many times in extra time have you seen a goal scored very, very quickly?
That's right.
Whether it's a little bit of lapsing concentration when the players have had that break.
Well, here's Anderton. He's got Sheringham up alongside him, but he banged it straight at Nadal, who's gone down poleaxed. It's with Southgate playing it wide, but a referee's in fact stopped so that Nadal can get some treatment. That was really painful. Anderton shot at something like 3 or 4 yards range. Really caught him. It's also great pressure on the referee. If there's a refereeing mistake, well, I suppose that comes at any time. Just look at that there. Oh, my goodness.
I'm amazed he didn't bring that down.
I'll tell you one thing, I bet his eyes are watering.
It's all in the team cause.
That's right. Oh, he wants to get up and get on with it.
That's good. That's right. Fair enough. I don't think anyone can complain about him play active, man. I think they're all.
But now, can you imagine now if while he's off the field, England score?
Yeah, we'd be jumping up and down in the air, wouldn't we? We wouldn't really care too much what he was doing. But I mean, he has been a strong man for that, but for them, for Spain. But I think you've got to mention our strong man. We talk about the flair players and all this, and I think Shearer's been brilliant. I think he's been our best player. But the man in the bounce up now, there's Pearce. He has had one hell of a game. Pearce, Adams, people like that, they have stayed mentally strong and defended and really done fully professional jobs.
Play by Gascoigne. Nadal is still off the field. They're one short in defence. Anderton getting his cross in. Can he hope to? No, but surely Gascoigne can, because he's got plenty of room and time to do it. Played in there. Played in again. Gascoigne's coming there, but Zubi Zareta read it well. And Nadal is back on the field.
The other thing, of course, Brian, it's such a high emotive situation, but as soon as a goal is in, half going to leave somebody cold, and there's going to be a right anti-climax, isn't there?
It is. Amor. Caminero. Still Caminero. Game can end at any second now. Pearce gets the goal kick for England.
I must confess I don't like it.
Bertie Vogts, the German coach, was saying this morning that he dislikes it intensely.
I mean, at least I think if you're given, no, people say the penalties, whatever, but at least you know what you've got to do within a certain time. I mean, this, as I say, this, it's not a lottery, but...
Comes Alfonso. Free kick given. Free kick for Spain, again in a dangerous position. We saw Hierro hit one just over from this sort of range. Well, that was a useful sighter for him, and he's the man on the ball at the moment. It could all end here. Moore also wants to be there. They put Stuart Pearce on the line. No, he's come off the line.
I think he should get back there quickly.
No, he won't.
I know it invites the offside. I think we should have all the subs on the line as well.
It's Vieira. He hits the wall with it, and Gascoigne brings it away. Lopez. Chip forward again towards Kiko. Up goes Pearce. Oh, a little fun and games there between Pearce and Kiko.
Kiko obviously doesn't know his history of football.
The man they call Psycho, Stuart Pearce. And here he is again. Only Shearer is up. Nadal sweeping it wide to Sergi.
Always in trouble. Neville could be in trouble there.
The referee's gone straight to the point, doesn't want a word with Neville. Remember, he's already been booked for the challenge earlier on Sergi. Neville's already carrying a yellow card into this game, so he misses the semi-final if England get there. Caminero. Still Caminero. Hierro lets it come through here to Belsway. Now Hierro. A little knock back there for Alfonso from Caminero. Pearce clambering over bodies to get to that one. The ball not kept in play by Caminero. A throw to England.
Certainly the Spaniards have started a lot brighter in this period. You know, this novel thing that we're watching at the moment. I'd like to see England get back to what they were doing in the second half and getting people up the field a lot more. Keep the ball as far from our goal as we can.
Gascoigne. Nadal. Belsway. Fantastic pressure on these players, given away there by Caminero, but then given away by McManaman.
And I wonder how much of that is due to the fact that the word you just used, Brian, pressure.
McManaman again. Shearer and Sheringham are up with him, but there are many more red shirts back. Anderton. McManaman again. Two of those red shirts combined to get it away. Caminero playing it up there towards Kiko, and the Spanish coach won't be too happy with him, waiting for that ball to come and allowing himself to be dispossessed. It's with Pearce. Swept over there.
You know, Brian, I can't remember David Platt being in their penalty box once in the course of a game, and I don't ever remember saying that about David.
That's right.
Is there a time for him, and is it now?
Here's McManaman. Here's McManaman. And now Anderton. And it was Shearer's header, but it's wide, and it's a goal kick for Spain.
And I don't mean that derogatory to David, because I think he's done an excellent job of doing the holding position, the anchor one, which is foreign to him really, although I think he first started picking up with Trapattoni at Juventus. But a number of times you've seen him emerge on that sort of cross.
Adams. Sheringham. Knocked down for Shearer. And now for Gascoigne. Punched away by Zubizarreta. Helped on its way by Nadal. Gascoigne was through. Forced the keeper into a save. Get a corner for England. Adams is up. Southgate is up. McManaman's in there. Shearer, of course. Sheringham. Not too many are left back. Is this the moment for England to strike for the winning blow? No, because it falls to Kiko. And loses it badly in a bad position. Oh. But there was a foul on him, apparently, and a free kick to Spain. 10 minutes of the first period of extra time gone. Alfonso slips, Southgate takes control, then Sheringham finds Pearce. It's McManaman. Anderton's gone wide for him. Platt. Again, it's Platt. And now the ball that will release Neville. Sheringham's coming for this. Kiko. Amor. Sergi. Alfonso's got some space. Gosh, he is a nimble player. And, well, Sergi found the space that Alfonso was in, but he made a great little darting run towards the near post. So England can take possession again with Gascoigne. McManaman. Gascoigne. Here's McManaman. Anderton to McManaman. Shearer. That's a foul by Lopez. Free kick to England. Another possibility emerges for the match-winning moment. Gascoigne with the free kick. The crowd sense this might be the moment. The Spaniards know they've got to be strong now. Adams and company are up there. Shearer, Sheringham, Platt's in the box. McManaman. Gascoigne's free kick superbly held by Zubizarreta. Finds Caminero. Sergi hitting it long. Kiko driving after it. And Gary Neville gets it back to his own goalkeeper.
I think he's been one of the players of the tournament, Gary Neville.
Well, England are going to have to do without him in the semi-final if we get there. Abelardo. Caminero. El Sway. Still nothing in it. Gascoigne concedes the corner. Well, they've told Nadal, probably the tallest man on the field, to get forward now. Hierro's another 6-foot-plus character. Abelardo's up there. They've just left Lopez and Sergi back as Belsway takes the corner. It's a deep, deep one, and it was a mighty jump from Teddy Sheringham. Sergi. Long-range shot, deflected off an England defender, another corner for Spain. With a minute to go to the first period, the end of the first period of extra time. Nadal's gone back, and Lopez has gone forward. Hierro's in there too. Alfonso. Kiko's on the line. Abelardo's in there too. Here comes the corner. Towards Hierro. And now Belsway. Perhaps he'll want to drive it in. No. It's an overhead kick by Alfonso. And it's a goal kick for England. Hierro's header. Alfonso chasing. Adams gets there first. That's the end of the first period of extra time. And still the score deadlocked And England 0, Spain 0. Second part of extra time underway. It's all going to end somewhere or other in 15 minutes. So maybe, who knows, a good deal sooner. The golden goals applying. First team to score wins, remember. Southgate. Lopez with a clearance. Gascoigne. Oh, he's gone past one beautifully. And he's found Anderton. Just a little too deliberate there, giving the Spanish defence a chance to get the foot in. Caminero finds Hierro. Oh, not a good ball. Away by Southgate. Here's Adams. Anderton. McManaman. Gascoigne. Sergi. Long towards Alfonso. Pierce with a good, careful header directly to his captain, Tony Adams. Adams in turn to Gary Neville. England bringing on 3 substitutes in a moment. How about that? That really is fresh legs. In the meantime, Kiko. Caminero. Alfonso. Chip by him towards Kiko. And again, Seaman is down there before Caminero can get in, and with a long clearance tries to find Shearer, but Shearer is outnumbered 3-1, and Big Nadal gets the positive header in. Sergi. Hierro. Amor. Sergi. Alfonso. Hierro. Kiko. Caminero. Good play. Oh, and it almost fell then for Alfonso, and England somehow got it away. But that was a real danger. There were men over there.
That was a brilliant foot-in by Stuart Pearce there.
Too high for Caminero, but Belsway will try and keep it in and keep it going for Spain. This is a good spell for them. Here's the cross coming in again towards Alfonso, but it comes to Southgate's head, and then Sergi hitting it well wide, and England will get their substitutes on now. They're going to take off Darren Anderton. Looks like Fowler, Barnby and Stone are coming on. Anderton is off. Robbie Fowler on. McManaman's going.
That's a brave decision.
It is indeed, and Barnby comes on for him. And Sheringham's going.
If he is, he doesn't know it.
If he is, he doesn't know it. Now he does.
There's no light.
So he's gone and Stone comes on. What's your instant judgment on that, Ron?
Well, Steve Stone's obviously going to fill in one of the midfield roles. Barmby straight for Sheringham, and Fowler's gone up. Alongside to try and reinforce Shearer. I'm just wondering, just trying to do a quick assessment there of how many of those are penalty kickers as well. I wonder if that's maybe, although you wouldn't take Teddy Sheringham off in a situation like that.
Would you? Barnby battling away in there, and Fowler, Caminero, Kiko, Caminero just finds Amor with it. Sergi outside him. Could be problems here for England. Sergi Kiko to slip that through to Caminero, but nothing came of it. But here is Spain again with Sergi. Alfonso on the far side. Still with Alfonso. And in the end, Stuart Pearce got in. He was running Steve Strone ragged there. And,
I think it's brave to bring on 3 in one hit at this stage because, A, it does not affect the whole of your team pattern. I certainly wouldn't have reversed to 1, possibly 2. I would have felt another striker. I'd like to see Ferdinand on. But 3 in one hit, you know, that can be disruptive.
Well, it's Spain attacking now. Again, here's their corner. Over them all. Comes for Amor. Played in the game by him, goal kick. With about 8 minutes of extra time to go.
You know, sometimes, Brian, it's hard enough for one sub to pick up the pace of a game, particularly a game as vital as this one. Now we're expecting 3 to pick it up.
It's Barnby, and certainly Stone was way off the pace there against Alfonso just now, and as well for him that his colleague Stuart Pearce got in time. Fowler battling. Played in again there towards Shearer, knocked down by him. Nadal is there first, rushing off all comers. Impressive figure he's been this afternoon. Caminero, Kiko, still Kiko. Free kick given to Spain. Gascoigne down injured. Just another point about having all 3 subs on.
Exactly.
If somebody gets a knock now, you're playing with 10. At the most energy-sapping time of the afternoon.
I know he's had a hard fortnight, but I would have thought the McManaman one was a bit...
Kiko. Trying to find a way through. Alfonso's waiting. Look at Adams battling away, but they've still got it there. And in the end, it was Southgate who just got a touch on that one, and Neville who put it away into touch. But England just at this moment on their back foot. Here's Southgate. Straight to Nadal. Nadal absolutely inch perfect straight to Sergi. Hierro to Amor. Amor slipping it wide for Alfonso again. Six minutes away from a penalty shootout. Amor's throw, or rather Sergi's throw, and now Alfonso.
And Brian Gascoigne, look at him,
he's really struggling.
He's limping like anything.
Belsway. In for Hierro. Belsway again. Hierro. Charge down. Gascoigne injured he may be. Just flicking it away into the path of Steve Stone. Now there's some fresh legs, putting some pace down that left-hand side for England. Stone finding Shearer. Shearer in turn looking for... Oh, is that a penalty? No, the referee decided not. As Steve Stone went down. Could have been all over then. Well, Spain have been denied a couple earlier on in the afternoon, to be fair. It's Caminero for Spain. Kiko. Alfonso's in the middle. Caminero's gone there to join him. Nobody there. Shearer beaten by Abelardo. Sergi. Adams, a cushion header there for Stone. Stone has now come into a central midfield position because Gascoigne is no more than a passenger, really, away over on the left flank. England effectively playing with 10 fit men at the moment.
And Gascoigne will certainly have to take a penalty, won't he?
I guess.
Mind you, knowing Gaz, he'll probably score the winning goal with the last kick of extra time. We hope.
Nadal now for Spain.
This period's certainly been one-way traffic, hasn't it? It's been Spain all this period. And then, man, nobody's defended his goal braver than him. 1 foot in just. I think it was Kiki who robbed of a great chance. Terry's he'll be writing his penalty kickers out now.
I guess he is. Spain's throw. Kiko. Southgate there. Alfonso, he's done well. He's a terrific little player, and he gets a corner for Spain with 3 minutes of the game left.
You have to say now to the England squad, you would have to take penalties when you'd say let's get it to penalties. That looks our best chance at the moment because they are absolutely in complete control of this set.
Caminero takes the corner. Nadal's come up from the back. Clemente, the Spanish coach, wonders if it might all finish here. He's aimed towards Nadal. Nadal, Piero, straight through to David Seaman. He struck it well, and as well for England. Well, I think the whistle had gone, actually.
This is that situation now. A nice little cushion header into the box. No. Not for me, Brian. No. But I wouldn't have complained if he'd given it.
Certainly not. There'll be a few thousand like it. He's given that. Free kick to England. Foul on Shearer. No, he's allowed play to go on. He stopped it for a moment and then let it go on. So here's Stone. Crossed in towards Fowler. Too high for him. Goal kick for Spain.
I think that was right to bring him on at this stage because he's got a good engine, he's a dog, and he keeps working. I think I'd have left. Honestly, I'm surprised at Sheringham coming up. As you say, Gaza now is the limping passenger on the left wing.
Piero, touch from Kiko. Oh, and it falls for Alfonso. He is a dangerous customer. Kiko, Caminero, Alfonso! Just wide.
And that's another stroke, isn't it, Brian? That's a squeeze over the bar for a corner. Some great link-up play. There he is, and that's another magnificent challenge there. Squeezed it over the bar.
Spain's corner. Inside the last minute of extra time. Tony Adams did that, you know.
Oh, he's had his foot in. He's like Pearce and Southgate. They've had some great foot ins.
Played short. Will it run for him or won't it? Kiko could be dangerous, could be really dangerous. Alfonso couldn't get it, and in the end, Steve Stone just hammered the ball across for another corner. Whether they're going to have time to take it is another matter. Referees looked at the watch once, and suddenly there was Stone doing the safest and best thing possible. But Caminero with the corner, the ball not inside the crescent, so the referee insists that it is. Kiko on the line. Adams gets it away. Del Sway will turn it back in again. This is a crucial moment. Lopez is up there. Safely caught by Seaman. Up towards Shearer. The last seconds. Can England steal it here? No, now Lopez has done exactly what Stone did just now, just hammered the ball away for safety. Referee again looking at his watch. It's going to be a throw. Neville has gone sprinting across there. The best long thrower in the England side. This is the real, in every sense, the last throw. But Hierro was there for Spain. As the final whistle goes. And what we're going to get now is a penalty shootout. So we come to the penalty shootout. England go first. Alan Shearer will take that penalty against Zubi Zareta. Crucial moments at the end of a long afternoon. The penalty shootout about to get underway. Shearer first to go, needing to give England the boost of a goal start against Zubi Zareta, and does it 1-0. Well, he scored a perfect one against the Scots. So again here. Hierro, tall, elegant midfield player. Against David Seaman, who's got a good record in penalty shootouts, as Arsenal fans know well. He's missed it. Hit the crossbar. Not over yet, though. Hierro gave it everything he got, and it came back off the Wembley crossbar.
And nearly finished back in the centre circle. He's hitting with that much power. This is a big one. 2-0 would be a hell of an advantage.
David Platt now for England against Zubi Zareta. 2-0. Excellent penalties there.
That's unstoppable. I don't like to see them side-footed, but if you're going to side-foot it, don't give the tee. I hate to see those little ones that creep along the ground.
Now, and more. A young Spaniard who became a father during this tournament with great celebrations. But this is a big, big penalty now for Spain. Oh, and he took it very cleverly. Tony Adams has gone to the linesman, say that was gamesmanship.
Yes, I just wondered about that. There is some sort of ruling about that. Now then, whatever happens, nobody in the world wants to see this fellow missing Brian, do they? There's that little check step.
Well, Stuart Pearce is up, the man who missed in that Turin World Cup semi-final against Germany in the 1990 World Cup. As Ron says, nobody really wants to see him miss it. And he hasn't! 3 out of 3 for England. Wow, he's fired up for that. No missing from Stuart Pearce tonight.
And what a magnificent gesture afterwards. Look at that, it's marvellous. That's a winner.
Well, it's Sway, the fullback. England leading 3-1 on penalties. Bell, Sway. Yep. And now Gascoigne. He was injured just before the end, but he's fit enough to score. 4 out of
4. David Seaman surely is going to stop one, isn't he? He always stops at least one.
Well, if Nadal misses with this one, England go through. Well, we hope so at any rate. Oh, Seaman has saved superbly from Nadal, and England go into the semi-finals of the European Championship. Scenes of fantastic joy here at Wembley as England's glory trail continues. After a penalty shootout against Spain, it's England who go into the semi-finals. Everything was right. 0-0 at the end of a period of extra time that meant the possibility of a golden goal. It didn't happen. Then the shootout, and then England really came into their own. First Alan Shearer scored, then David Platt scored, then Stuart Pearce, who'd missed, of course, in that famous penalty shootout at Turin in 1990 World Cup. He came up and he scored. Paul Gascoigne, who was injured just before, at the end of 90 minutes, he scored. And then up stepped big Nadal for the crucial penalty for Spain. And David Seaman pulled off a magnificent shot. What a moment for Stuart Pearce, having missed that penalty away in Turin. But a night of great jubilation now from the fans who really responded to him. It was a tense afternoon right the way through. For a long time, Spain seemed to have the edge. They had what appeared to be a good goal disallowed. They had what seemed to be a legitimate penalty claim turned down. But England stuck to it superbly, without really ever showing the form that they showed against Holland last Tuesday night. But in the end, it all came well, in the most dramatic fashion possible.
Terry, what a roller coaster, what a ride, what a result.
Yeah, it was everything that you would want in an event like that. I think everyone got their money's worth. I mean, it was a very quiet first half. I thought we played a lot better second half. And Spain played well too, and the extra time when you're waiting for the drama of this goal, which is going to finalise everything. I was thinking as we went through it, because we're the first to do it, I think people get forward, have a go at it, but they quickly get back again. They're more concerned about defending the goal than actually trying to score. I think that might happen a little. But it's nevertheless, it's dramatic. And then when you get through to the end of the 30 minutes, you've got the drama of the penalties as well. And I was saying earlier, I'm not really apologising for winning on penalties. I've been on the other end of that, and it's fierce.
Well, you've been in some penalty shootouts, David, but where does that one rate?
Oh, it's just frightening. It is, you know, like every time it just seems to happen. Fortunately, I'm able to save a few.
What about that last save?
Well, just like the few penalties before, they were quite good penalties. There was one where he stopped, which I thought is illegal, but the referee allowed it. And I just, kept doing my theory, whereas if you come to the ball, I read it off that. But a lot of credit must go to our lads, because they knocked some great penalties in.
I think the goalie probably has been our best player, in my opinion, and has got us into the semi-finals. I wish he didn't have anything to do, basically, but I'm afraid that's not the case, and his ability basically has got us into the semi-finals. Make no mistake about that. The headlines will be elsewhere, possibly, and they have been in the past, but the goalkeeper is the one man that's got us there, in my opinion.
Two players in particular here. Stuart Pearce, with the memories of 1990, that's all clear now.
Oh, magnificent, magnificent. He epitomises everything that you want to be about. It's a football match, we'll play football, and if it's a tough one, we'll have that too. And there was guts and courage and passion, everything that you needed to dig out a result. And we know you have to dig out results different ways.
Stuart Pearce, members of 1990, that must have been a burden.
Exactly. No, you know, you've got to put a lot of praise on Stuart, because that takes bottle to do that. You know, after doing that in the semi-final in the World Cup, to go up there and say, right, you know, I'll take one. You know, you've got to admire the man.
Stuart, the way you reacted to your perfectly taken penalty suggested a shoulder was lifted there for you.
I was just pleased to score, you know. To be honest with you, I could hear my wife's voice saying, oh no, not you again, if I missed, you know, so that was spurring me on to hopefully put it in the net.
Inevitably, people are going to talk about 1990. I know it's a long way away, but it is important, I think, in your own mind to erase that by showing that you can take penalties under pressure.
Well, anyone who's been to Nottingham Forest over the last 6 years would know that I am the penalty taker there. Coming straight back from the 90 World Cup, I was the penalty taker, and I have been for the last 6 years. So, you know, people make a lot of it. I'd rather not, you know. This is a different game. It wasn't just me taking a penalty today. There was 4 other lads there who put their neck on the blocks and put in equally good penalties.
There's a feel now, isn't there? Shades of 66.
Yeah.
Semi-final now. Could be really England's competition.
Hopefully it is, you know, and it's a great feeling, you know. Like we were doing interviews before and the crowd were singing and dancing outside. You know, obviously the players have gone into the dressing room and that, and they're having a great time. You know, and every time we come down now from the hotel, there's more and more people on the streets waving us, you know, wishing us good luck and things. And it's just getting bigger and bigger.